Cheers and enjoy the bits. Yes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome once again back to the channel with me, Disco, coming at you live from in front of the cans and bottles here on the bar, or I'm still originally calling the Disco Arms. I hope you're all well. You've had a great weekend and a happy damn Monday, and your week is progressing well so far, even though it's Monday. It was all right, heavy weekend up the brewery. Working the bar Friday night, meeting up with folk on Saturday, even though it was my day off. Took them out to the brewery, had a few jars, if you know what I mean, and then working away. Not really working, but yeah, laying on Sunday and doing a quiz on a Sunday afternoon, which I very nearly live streamed, and I kind of wish I had now. Maybe it would have been all right, but yeah, I might do that another time. But yeah, welcome to Monday Club. Another one rolls around, and today I've got a tenuously linked set of beers, if only through the word or name, mostly the word Ridge, for no apparent reason. I just saw these beers. The first one I collected accidentally, and the others sort of fell into line a little bit. Again, don't need to be buying more beers for the beer stash, but so these haven't been in the beer stash too long, I don't think, apart from the first one. But there we go. As always, it's hastily bodged together way of looking at beers, really. Hope you guys are all good. You've got a beer in a glass to drink along. No worries if not, it's Monday, it's not for everyone. Greetings as ever, Mr. Wilson. Almost a de facto co-presenter in the comments. Reminding me to take the photographs and stuff like that. Keep doing that. Always good to see you, sir. Hope you've had a good one. And you've got a little snifter in the glass, or a big one, as you did the other day. So superb. So I tell you what, yeah, it's part 79 now, Monday Club, and I've called it Up on the Ridge for reasons only some people know that I won't go into, but it seemed to me to be some kind of saying or comment or something. I thought it was at least a song, and I did find a song to go with it over on the Instagram. Not one I've ever heard of, a bit of country and western. Why not? Up on the Ridge. So, tell you what we shall do then. We shall dive straight in. Beer number one, please. And beer number one is simply called Ridge. I don't entirely know why, but I saw it, and for other name-related reasons, I picked it up. So let's get into a glass and see what we've got. I've got the banner scrolling down at the bottom there. No, didn't. Yeah, so it's from Drop Project Brewery. I had to look them up where they were. I've heard of them. I've seen loads of their cans about, and they've all got quite a nice uniform can wrap, although different colours. I've given that a large old pour, so that's pretty bubbly as it is. So a big old head development on that one. I'll properly maul that, but there you go. In the meantime, they were also drinking a Hero IPA from Cogsback. Fair play. Nice easy drinker for a Monday night. I suspect these ones aren't going to be easy drinkers. Following on from what was quite a heavy night, really, on Thursday's live stream. Let's move that down a bit so we can see shit. There we go. On from live stream on Thursday night. Thanks to everybody who popped in, especially Jimbo from ALM Radio. Come for a few beers, had a couple himself, managed to get talked into a second one, fair play. and took part in my ridiculous questions and games. We had a jolly good beer and a chat, so that was really good. But those 3 beers, one of which was obviously a collab from Alien Audio, Alien Radio over Overtone, but they were 3 fairly big and very pale ales. Well, IPA kind of ales. It was a double IPA and a lot of double dry hopping going on in that. Lots of carbonation racing up the glass in that. Just from that little pour, so it's quite well carbonated. I did forget when I was doing the write-ups for this, it's a West Coast Pils, which I believe I have had on the show before, but from Canada. And it sounds a little bit of a crossing of the styles. Never, as I was saying the other day, a massive fan of anything West Coast because it indicates a lot of hops. And I'm not really sure lager needs to be hopped. So as Pilsner lagers go, that is, mad carbonation racing up the glass. So I'm going to take a while for that to settle down before I do the photo, get the rest in the glass. But I don't really know what a West Coast Pils is. I seem to remember the one I had a few shows back. I'll link that up. It was no, it's a video. Did I do a show? Or was it a video? No, it's in a show. It's in a show. I didn't do a standalone for it. But it was a what's called Victoria Brewing Company, a West Coast Pils from Canada, from the West Coast of Canada. So I'll have to go back and look at that one if I remember. I'll put a link up there if I get the links right. Don't know if anybody notices that I do links and anybody actually bothers to click on them and go and watch something else. But there you go. If you do, it's there if you want to. Nice lemon yellow colour behind the camera. Bit dark on the screen there. I'm not massively worried about that pour. It will settle out and settle down. I didn't go particularly aggressive. I did forget it was a Pilsner. Let's have a look on the can, see what we get. 4.8%. Yeah, Drop Project are in South London, I believe. I had to look this up. Mitcham. Oh, it's a collab brew. Didn't see that. With Seagrove Public. Don't know who they are. Just says a collab brew with our friends over at Seagrove Public. Hops are Simcoe, Mosaic, and Lorien. It's got oats in as well. Well, that's the other logo on there. I didn't really see that. It's been that kind of day where nothing's really gone right, to be honest. Although I haven't really had a lot to go wrong. It just has. Went out for a bike ride earlier, and the pedal fell off. So I ditched that bike and got another one. But that's just sort of indicative of my day, really. It's a day off, heavy-ish weekend. Just wanted to relax, but nothing really went right. And it wouldn't be a Rasco and Disco. Rasco and Disco. What am I talking about? Saw Rasco at the weekend. Cheers. Joined us for a beer. But it wouldn't be a live stream without something going wrong. It always has to be beer, doesn't it? Well, it's a very fluffy head anyway. Well, let's just pretend it's in the continental style. And I'll do the photo anyway. Oh, dickhead, I put this in the wrong glass. I was going to put it in the Fuller's glass, in the London glass, since it's a London beer. But just one more thing. What else can you do? Just got to keep going, really, I suppose. feel like I'm up on the ridge with this already. So yeah, I put it in my Coles glass from up north. Seems I've got a beer from up north. That's about as closest as beer matching as I get. But no, I've put it in the London beer instead. Actually pretty. No one's going to know. Don't tell them on Instagram tomorrow if I get this up on Instagram tomorrow. Yeah, that's better. There you go. So, doesn't want to focus. Well, it wouldn't do, would it? Got there. Right, so, yeah, Ridge. 4.8%. West Coast Pilsner. Let's see what we get on. How's he doing? Oh, Rascal, yeah, fine. Came over for a beer, no problems. Bought him a pint. Yeah, perfectly fine, all good. Smells very IPA like hop forward. To be fair, it's definitely got those hop notes in it. It's got some lightness to it. It's like a bit like a session IPA almost. Anyway, yeah, thanks for popping in. Cheers and enjoy the beers. Ooh, yeah. I go through a range of emotions. Yeah, first of the cheers. Firstly, there is a certain hop note to it, but there is also a certain juiciness to it, and a kind of citrusy kind of a bit sort of tangerine rather than orange. Very light on the citrus, but it is in there. Thankfully, not much grapefruit. Really tastes like a session IPA rather than a pills. So it's confusing a little, not in a bad way. Can't remember when I picked this up. I think it might have been before Christmas, and I wasn't sure what to do with it. Oh dear. Okay, best before the 6th of the 5th, 25. So I have had it in the stash a while. I think I picked it up out of the fridges at Paul's at Christmas, and I'm not really knowing what to do with it until I saw the other two beers with Ridge. I just got it purely on the name. So no idea if it's still about. It's perfectly light, juicy, and refreshing. There's a nice kind of, like I say, slightly sort of tangerine, touch of lime, a little bit of lemon going on. Thankfully, no grapefruit. There is a kind of wheatiness late on in that background, all amongst the lemon. So it's a bit of a confusing mix of things, but really nice. And perfectly drinkable. I'd still be very tempted to shandy it, weirdly. Let's have a quick look. I haven't actually looked on the websites of these breweries, any of them today, really. I need to finally Googled Quickly Drop Project to find out where they were. Right, here we go. Well, that looks a proper juicy one there to start with. Let's see what they got in the shop to start with. They've got a shop. Let's see if there's anything takes my fancy. NEIPA. Let's see. I like this kind of Very clear. I hesitate to call it branding, but this art style that's in, I think, really well designed cans. Got the lovely kind of bold and striking colours, but also not too fussy. Also not plain and simple, but it's there. Nice bold bit at the bottom with the the beer name, beer style, and percentage, and the brewery on top. I like that. That said, they do seem to do something different, do they? The only ones I've ever seen is in this kind of style. Oh, right, it's Rivington collab, so that'll be why. They've done it in a Rivington style. Slightly random and unusual collab, isn't it? From South London to Lancashire, but there you go. Affogato, a smoothie stout. That's also another one that goes different in the artwork. Quite like an affogato stout. You don't see them too many, to be fair. Smoothie sour. I see a picture of the beer on that one, but it looks like it doesn't have to be a sour, but there you go. Love a bit of mango. And also a blueberry sour. We're getting into blueberries a lot lately. Really kind of slightly underrated fruit. Easy snackable for me. Juice is that sour? Yeah, it's a sour as well. And then the 330 large, like tall, thin can. Not sure how I feel about them, to be fair. Don't really mess about with names too much. Keep it fairly simple, like one word. See that tarts Creek sour. I've seen that about. That again looks like. Oh no, it's 440. Oh yeah, the Biscoffee stout. I saw that on Instagram the other day. Love a Biscoffee stout, but a choppy Irish stout, nice. So yeah, doing much the same as every other brewery, really, at the end of the day, but with some good striking artwork. Looks good. Artwork on the back of the t-shirts, as I always say. Even if it's just plain, it's just the name, the brewery name or logo. Fair play. Well, they got a random hazy pale down the bottom. It's on discount. But there you go. Hey, Rob. Thanks for popping in. Hope you're doing all right. A good weekend. Cheers up. Let's take a quick look at Drop Project. A brewery I don't know too much about there. So I've seen them around, heard them about, seen them on Instagram. And I just picked this one up on a bit of a whim because of the name. Got a tap room and Mitcham. Willow Business, Willow Lane, Mitcham. I say for Rasco's way, Mitcham Junction, yeah. Not getting over that way anytime soon, but it's nice to see. Obviously doing okay. Eco-conscious mindset, attempted to create as little negative impact on the world as possible. Spent grain is recycled into local agriculture as animal feed, and recently reduced CO2 uses in the brewery by 90%. Invested in a nitrogen generator. I've seen stuff about that, but it's science, so I don't understand it. And they've got their own kegs. Nice. Nice lot of tanks. It's a couple of 1,000 litres on those. I think those ones in the middle are probably thousands, or they might be 2,000s actually. So they've got some kit behind them. Fair play. JT, Will and Joe. Yeah, fair play. Decent looking brewery doing good stuff down in South London. For me, this one, yeah, it's interesting. Can't find any more info on it. Do like a little write up, as you know, apart from just the hops. Also, it doesn't say what Seagrove are, but I guess it's some kind of recycling company. Yeah, Simcoe Mosaic and Lorient, but fairly well dialed down. Simcoe and Mosaic are often ones I moan about in hop heavy IPAs, but not too hop heavy here, but they've noticeably so. Yeah, just says West Coast Pills, no more information. There's a little bit of that kind of pills and a kind of slight savoury note going on in the background now as well. As I said, best four is a good beginning of this month, but it's a lager, so it's probably okay. Hey, hopper in, good man, searchers. We had a good weekend, and the week is progressing well. Watch back tomorrow. Oh, fair play, sir. Very kind of you. Got some interesting beers tonight that again from Thursday show. Some slightly bigger ones. The things I probably wouldn't normally drink, but got in just really because of the name, because they all fitted in the scenario, in the theme of up on the ridge for no apparent reason. Why not? It's really nice, actually. There's some kind of sherbety kind of vibes kicking in now as well. A little bit of lime kind of sherbet. Say the tangerine is still there. Bit of lime, kind of spritzy, kind of lager with that wheatiness in the background. I'm not sure where the oats are. It's quite thin for something with oats in, and it's weird to have oats in a pilsner. But there we go. Yeah, easily smashable that. Certainly a kind of summer beer, and I guess it was last summer's beer, so maybe it'll be around again soon with a date like May. 17-inch. It's yeah. it's a long story. More about that actually later on in the week if I get to do it. I think we'll have a little custard session on Thursday, as long as I'm not working early on Friday. Back to Turning Point. I try and get the custard beers done early this year rather than holding out. But a big thanks to Hopper for including me in his video the other day of Turning Point unboxing. That was kind of funny. Bit of a surprise. So I'm kind of pleased I did the video that he took it from, because it kind of works really well. In fact, let's do this here. Link to that video for Hopper's Turning Point in readiness for Thursday. If I do Thursday stream, I'll put it up probably Wednesday, and we'll have a custard session. So if anybody's got any custard beers, do join in if you want. It's not compulsory. Yeah, I'm going back to that to look for it, and it's lasted pretty well. Cool. Yeah, so some interesting stuff there. So obviously I'm probably gonna like them. I shouldn't go in with that mindset, but yeah, some changes. So the regular custard, the rhubarb custard, and the Caribbean custard cake, which is probably what I'm mostly looking forward to at the end of the day. But the rhubarb and custard should be good because it's not sour. It's a pale ale. So yeah, more about that on Thursday. Yeah, so I smashed through this one. That nice kind of citrusy linger is pretty good. As I say, it's more tangerine, lime, touch of lemon than anything else. Custard, Yellowmouth custard was nice. One was enough. Yeah, fair enough. Rhubarb wasn't for me. Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, previous years, they've all been good. Because they started rotating the pink one, the rhubarb one. That'd be interesting. I don't mind rhubarb and custard. If it reminds me of my old nan's crumbles, then it'll be good. But yeah, as I say, mostly looking forward to the stout, really, because it's something a bit different again, a tropical stout. Not sure, but give it a go. Anyway, that's the end of this one. It's gone down pretty quick without too much wincing, and yeah, general enjoyment there. It's pretty decent, I think. Yeah, from Drop Project. That was Ridge, 4.8% West Coast Pilled. I say comparing it to a session IPA is pretty light. Not necessarily in body, but pretty light on the ABV. 4.8%. Didn't really feel like that, but yeah, quite nice. Really good sweetness, a little bit sherbiness. Happy days. That's a good start. Well, if that's a good introduction to Drop Project, I'll look out for them a bit more, maybe. Certainly interested in that Biscoff one. But without further ado, let's dash straight on to beer number 2, please. And indeed, beer number 2 is another new brewery to the channel. I've barely even seen these guys before. I was always seen a few people pop them up on Instagram. They're called Weekend Project. And this one is called Foggy Ridge. It's a 7.2% New England IPA. Now, I was having this conversation with Rasco about New England IPAs at the weekend because we've got a New England Pale Ale on the bar, collab with the Dodo, and it's not my favourite. Don't tell the boss, get sacked in the morning. But New England's generally not my favourite. If I'm pushed, West Coast are slightly preferential. That West Coast, albeit a Pilsner, has certainly done the job with the right kind of blend of citrus, the right balance. I just find New England's to be somewhat unbalanced, mostly towards grapefruit and, yeah, a little bit of pine. So let's see what we get. It's a 500ml can, so it's a big can, not to enjoy, but I got it in because of the name, Foggy Ridge. I wonder if it's a fog pale ale, because we had this discussion the other week about fog pale ales when I had a beer on. But let's get into the glass and have a look, see what we get. Another one pretty well carbonated, lots of character to it, and a good bubbly pour out the can. I didn't do the can balance again, did I? Never mind. I don't think I'll do with this one, although I could do. It was a bit dangerous. No, not quite enough in there for that. Let's do the photograph before I start fanning around too much. Yeah, so 500ml can. I'll see them comments in a second. I'll do them afterwards. So I don't forget. I'll put this thing down for this one because a little bit too much light on a very pale kind of can wrap there. Looks good. Little kind of foggy mountain scene, I guess. Could call it. See if that's worked. Yeah, that's all right. Isn't that okay? It looks pretty good in the glass, I have to say. It's a nice pillowy, bubbly head, settled well. Quite light, kind of very, very hazy, but quite light lemony colour on the naked eye, but a bit more orangey on camera. Looks good. Head development is good and staying, not going anywhere. Before we get into it then, yeah, I forgot to go on to, but I was going to do news about that Little Earth project. Sort of mothballing. They haven't said they're giving up, but they're sort of giving up for now, which is odd. I've never gone to Little Earth. I look at their stuff, and all the wild ferment stuff doesn't really tickle my fancy that much. I find them a bit difficult, kind of odd end of sour beers. So I've never, and they do big beers and big share of bottles, and it's not something I've never fitted it into a theme like this. If they brought a disco beer out, of course, but yeah, so it's a shame. They seem to be doing okay though. It's not like the business is closing entirely because they've got like pub. I think they got like a campsite as well next to the pub out in Suffolk. It is in the middle of nowhere in Suffolk, I believe. I did look at going there once. So they've got the pub. I guess they just weren't not producing enough to supply the pub and maybe getting all the beers in. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a shame. But they've said they want to utilise the space in other ways. There's no money in beer, is there, these days? But yeah, sad that. Yeah, well, I think they were. It's just the sort of beers they did were sort of quite intensive, time intensive, because they put beers away while ferment them and just sort of leave them to do their thing. So it meant that, the turnaround was pretty low, probably indicated, I think, in the price. I'm sure I've looked at them and gone, yeah, I don't fancy spending that, but there you go. Yeah, love the ethos. And yeah, okay, you like mixed fermentation, fair play. Yeah, they haven't said they're giving up entirely. They're just sort of on hiatus a little bit, maybe until they can work a way to do it in a better way. So yeah, yep. Always a shame when any brewery kind of goes down a pan, really. But I don't think they've gone down a pan. I think they're just like looking to maybe other profit revenue streams, and hopefully that means that they have the leverage or the space to do brewing again sometime soon. More about weekend project in a minute. Let's have a look at this beer, Foggy Ridge. It is proper foggy, hazy, quite dense. You can see the carbonation initially on the pour, but not so much now. And the head has settled down, soft, fluffy. Oh, what happened there? Just a bit more error. Don't know what happened there. Some kind of internet issue. It's just sort of died. So I hope you can still hear me, and I hope everything's okay. Let me know. But yeah, nice. Looks nice. Nice one on paper. In theory, not too much grapefruit on the nose. Definitely kind of. I'm sure it's pineapple. It might be something else as well. Anyway, cheers. Let's get into it, and we'll find out a bit more about Weekend Project. Ooh. It's a big beer. It's a big beer. It's got that nice sort of sherbety, smooth kind of body. Plenty of oats, I guess. Yeah, initially really juicy and kind of going towards pineapple, but there's a little bit of pine and grapefruit on the back end there that might make it a bit of a challenge, especially at 7% from me anyway. Which is weird. It's the inverse to most beers. Like I said about that Overtone beer on Thursday, it was like a big hop hit to start with, and then it settles down. This one sort of amps up towards the hop. Not quite hop burn, but definitely a hop hit. That Sure Shot one on Thursday was, yeah, mad. Big hop burn, big hop hit initially, and settled down into just a absolute smorgasbord of fruits. I hesitated to use the word smorgasbord on the actual review. This one has got that kind of very similar kind of body to that Sure Shot one, actually. It's got the smoothness. It's got that softness, that oaty pillowiness. I think it's pineapple, but there is a little sheen of pine. It's not masked, but it's held back from going full pine. There's sort of hints of apricot. There's hints of grapefruit. There's no apricot really, although it could be. There is some other sort of tropicality to it as well, sort of indistinct, no particular fruit, but some kind of tropical note. For me, nicely sweet, which goes with that softness, that kind of pillowiness. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else has sort of tried Weekend Project or heard of Weekend Project. I haven't looked them up. Let's have a quick look, shall we? See what we can find. I've loaded the website up for quickness, but I haven't had a look around, so I don't know what we're going to get here. There we go. Mountains of Sabro, nice. It does seem, from the other ones I've seen, it's kind of this kind of gentle kind of artwork, lots of like mountains and scenery and flowers and stuff. Happy camper. Island Hopper. There's one for you, Hopper. It's got your name on it. It's got your name all over it, Hopper. That's a beer for you. I love it when we find things like that. I mean, only if you're interested in name-related things. I mean, you know how I squeeze things into random themes and theories. But yeah, Hopper, there's a beer for you there. Island Hopper. Especially as it comes from, I don't know, does he come from Barry Island or just Barry itself? But yeah, there's one for you, Hopper, if you're watching this back. You're welcome. It's a service I provide, finding relevant named beers, because that's just how I look at things. No disco beers, but there you go. Yeah, so again, much the same as really what we looked at Drop Project. A lot of good enough sounding, decent sounding beers, although not a lot massively standing out in terms of beers everybody else does, you know, but perfectly decent by the looks of it. Again, going by this one, sitting well in those big craft beer kind of scenario, so fair play. I did, however, right, here we go. So, Welcome to Weekend Project, a brewery born out of a combined experience of over 3 decades of loving, brewing, drinking, and immersing ourselves in global beer culture. Join us in celebration of the world's greatest style, scenes, and experiences through our brews and take them with you on your journey. Here's to the weekend. That's not what I was looking for. There was something else I saw earlier. Our story. Here we go. Fly. Fucking fruit fly. I saw something earlier when I googled it, and it's not necessarily written on there, which is odd. It's just weekend project. So I saw this earlier. Oh right, okay, yeah. So yeah, so the thing I saw earlier, they haven't got their own brewery yet. And the thing I saw was, where did I see that? So the thing I saw, was it location? That was it. Where are they was what I was looking for, about looking at the brewery. Oh, I've got to prove it now, but there was something to do with, or they're brewing. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I saw it on the camera website. So this is what they say about weekend project. I don't know. I don't recognise any of those places. Meadowside Barn, Home Lane, Lower Peover. One number. I don't know the postcode, WA16. Turns out it's somewhere in Cheshire. I did Google that bit just to see where they were. Camera tell us it was opened in 2023 by one of the directors of MBH Beer. Operates as a nomad brewery, utilising both MBH's kit and other brewery plants as required. MBH Beer, I've never heard of, and I did Google that, and it turns out MBH is a brewery I have heard of, but they seem to have changed the name a little bit. MBH Brewery actually stands for Mobley Brew House, who I have definitely heard of, and in fact, I've had some of their beers way back in the day. In fact, Unchained, that hazy pale, I've had that in a 330 can, I think out of a beer 52, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that basically Mobley Brew House just reconstructed or rebranded or whatever. So I don't know whether they're to do with weekend project. It's just a weekend project of Mobley Brewhouse. But if you run a brew house, why do you need a weekend project? It is an entire project. But there's some nice stuff there, and I do like their can artwork as well. But again, all much the same stuff. But they're up in Cheshire, so not too far, I guess, from you, Rob. Probably the other side of Cheshire from Rob, I guess. Not had any of their stuff. Yeah, I haven't seen them about that lot. I've seen a couple of things on Instagram, but not out and about or anything like that. Simo, welcome along. Thanks for popping in. Hope you're having a good week. Yeah, I know what you mean. Scorchio. Yes, he's still there. You saw that Island Hopper? Check that one out. Yes, can't forget. I mean, you should have mentioned it. I would have happily let everybody know that you've got your own beer Hopper Out IPA. Click the links, go find it. Yeah, not too far. They had a bar in Stockport, but closed down. What? Mobley or Weekend Project? Well, probably Mobley, because I don't know whether there's something to do with them or they're just brewing at Mobley Brew House. But the camera thing. It said one of the directors say, well, he fancied an extra bit of work to open a second brewery. Craziness. And cookie brewing at your own brewery. There you go. That is so smooth. I'm taking there's some grapefruit developing there now. I really love the sherbetiness of that kind of juicy fruit sherbetiness. It's a big beer. There's a little bit of alcohol burn on the back end of that as well. There's a sort of I said this about a beer the other day. I think there's a kind of vodka edge to it. It's like if you get a stout that's like barrel aged, there's like a spirity, maybe rum barrel or bourbon barrel edge to it. Sometimes if you get a really big ABV IPA, there's a slight, not vodka barreled, but sort of spirity vodka edge to it. So I might have to be careful about this one. Don't have to go to work tomorrow, so it's not a school night for me. But it has got that big edge to it, a big spirity edge, but it's covered by the smoothness, the pillowiness, the sherbetiness. I'm looking for more adjuncts and adjectives and descriptors to this one. If that's what they do, then that's really good. To be fair, really nice. Let's have a look, see what they say. Foggy Ridge, super hazy New England IPA, bursting with lush Citra. Oh, find a Citra beer I can drink. Yeah, bastards. Right, bursting with lush Citra and mosaic hops. What am I saying? Delivering juicy waves of mango. Yeah. Zesty citrus and a hint of ripe stone fruit with our favourite light, soft, and pillowy finish. It's a favourite of mine. I like soft and pillowy. Yep, 7.2%. Nothing unusual in the ingredients. Definitely oats, though. You can tell them. I picked this one up from House of Treble and Madness last week, purely because of the name, because I had the other two with the ridge in the name. Oh, that's a bit naughty. Best before 20th of the 5th, 2025. Interesting. Interesting. When did I pick that up? I'm sure it was only last week. I don't think that's been sitting around for a while. Yeah. Oh, okay. I purchased it on the 2nd of May. So a little bit close, but you wouldn't know. It hasn't, it's sort of, yeah, absolutely fine. So it is. Let me just demonstrate. Yeah, picked it up on the 2nd of May, purely because I went for another disco beer. Yes, I ordered a Verdant beer. I've told you that already. And a couple of other things. Yeah, Trembling Madness. I got another Trembling Madness order in last week. But yeah, there it is. Picked up on the 2nd of May. And we're 8 days before it's nominally best before. But to be fair, it's best enough, I think. Oh, there you go. You're from Cheshire, living in. Oh yeah, well, you've only just basically moved across Wales, haven't you? It's pretty much Wales anyway, Cheshire, or bits of it are. It's called Project 53. Okay. Shark, good evening to you. Thanks for popping in. I hope you're having a good week. Hope you had a good weekend. I didn't watch anybody's stuff over the weekend because, I was absolutely mullered. I got home about 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Well, Sunday morning. Geez, that was a good session. But yeah, so I didn't see anything really on Friday night because I was working the bar. Saturday I was drinking the bar dry, and Sunday I got up late, finished the quiz, read the quiz. You'll see some of the questions I did on Thursday because I just regurgitated all the ones I threw at Jimbo from Alien Radio. Busy week. School stuff, fair play. Well, if you're not having a beer this week because you're too busy, then I'm drinking for you. Got a couple of streams lined up. I might do one tomorrow, although I'm out tomorrow afternoon, so it depends what time I get back. But and like I say, I might do the custard session on Thursday. This is nice. This is another. I'm surprised by it. Citra and Mosaic. When I get a beer that soft pillowiness that sort of hides that grapefruitness of Citra and Mosaic, it's there. It's sort of pinging kind of undercurrent of it. And it's really quite nice. I'm not sure about mango, but I can kind of see. I went pineapple more than mango, probably because that kind of slight piney edge, slight grapefruity edge. But it feels more pineapple, stone fruit. Maybe there's a bit of sort of nectarine kind of peachy kind of stuff. But it's very easy drinking. Although, like I say, that slight vodka-y, spirity kind of edge to it. Hell of a beer. Here's the man himself, as I was talking earlier. Paul's Beer Reviews. Welcome, sir. Hope you had a great weekend on the bar, and the week is developing well. It's that's hitting. That is hitting notes. That's hitting notes. Weekend project. That is absolutely banging. It's going more grapefruit now than pine and pineapple, but in just about the right balance. It races towards grapefruit, but doesn't quite get there. Paul, I picked this one up from yours, didn't I? I think. I'm sure it was. Turns out before Christmas, but there you go. Got to go up and see Paul again. It's been far too long since I popped in at Christmas, and I just keep running out of time and hours. But I will do again soon. I guess if you're having as good a run in this hot weather as we are, Paul, then obviously 'twas a mental weekend. Being enjoyed, Dave notes. Yeah, I can imagine. You and me both, pal. Mondays, just sitting back and relaxing, and just enjoying the beer. I'm kind of I'm really enjoying this. Um, there is that grapefruit sherbety grapefruit twang to it now, but yeah, it's like vodka and grapefruit juice. I can't remember what beer it was I said about that last. It was a big beer I said about that. I have to go back and check that video out, that stream, find out what that video is. I'll do that because later on in the edits I'll put something up there if I see it. There's a little bit of kind of tartness to it as well, a little bit of dryness, which I don't normally like. That's that kind of citra thing going on. But yeah, that's a wow beer that I shouldn't really like. But that pillowiness, that oats in there, that kind of soft pillowy note. The head retention is great. Not a lot of lacing on the glass, but some half decent head retention, and that soft pillowiness. Makes it such an easy drinker. Cheers, hop up. Have a good one. Have a good week. Maybe see you Thursday. Hopper out. Well, I tell you what, that one hasn't really lasted long in the glass either. To be fair, we're on 20 minutes of beer here, slightly, plus a bit of talking. But yeah, if you see Weekend Project, that feels like one worth looking at. To be fair, I know, it's gone mad. It's 2016 all over again, isn't it? Disco enjoying a Citra beer and only just in date. Hang on, what did I say it was? It's only just in date. 20th of the 5th, 2025, that best before end is. So only just in date, only just nominally out of date. What's going on? It's crazy. Yeah, enjoying Citra and Mosaic. Not a big fan of Mosaic any more than Citra, to be honest. But that's interesting. Like I say, I have enjoyed a Citra beer, not many. See, Boss at Paravel did a very hazy all Citra lineup of that, and I really enjoyed that one. It's one of my favourite beers of last summer, to be fair. I keep going on to doing them. I'd forgotten about that. There is a project theme. So Drop Project, Weekend Project. But no, the theme is Ridge, up on the ridge. First one was called Ridge. This is called Foggy Ridge. And the next one, the brewery's got Ridge in it. So I suppose if Paul remembers the conversation we had at Christmas as to why I'm doing that. But yeah, there is a little bit of a project theme. But it's mostly Ridge. Project Ridge. I was going to call it Let's Do This the Ridge Way. And only a few people might get that as well. If you're going to start spoiling it by talking about Sierra, just because I said I enjoyed a Citra bit, and to bring Sierra Nevada into it, there's some grapefruity kind of burps, but it's very muted, almost lilt kind of grapefruit, because that kind of pineapple bit coming through as well. It's kind of, I think it's nice. I like it. I couldn't do too many pints, but I'm surprised myself about liking a Citra Mosaic beer. So let's finish this one off. It's to the end. It's got that nice little head retention. So not too much lacing, but it's kind of pineapple cubes, I don't know if they do a grapefruit version of pineapple cubes, but if it was, it'd be grapefruit cubes. But fair play. Quite enjoyed that one. If a little confused about the whole Citra thing, but cheers. So, two enjoyable beers. Again, slightly unusual. Something a little bit different. I wouldn't expect necessarily to like. I was a little bit worried about this lineup when I put it together. But I only put it together because of the names, because of Ridge, and then I noticed the whole project connection. So, let's go. swiftly into beer number 3, please. And beer number 3 is this, admittedly, little can, but it is 8%. It's a double IPA. I know, look at me doing IPAs again, especially after Thursday night. The Ridge connection is that it's called the Pine Ridge Brewery. Although a little bit confusing because on Instagram they're called the Pine Brewery. I actually thought, I don't know why, I think Pine Ridge, I imagined it was an American brewery. And I thought that was a 375 mil, and it's not, it's a 330. I see it now clear as day in front of me. They're actually from Sweden. And they're really confusing. I'll read some stuff off the back in a minute, but they're really confusing with the whole name thing. I think they've changed their name at some point from the Pine Brewery to the Pine Ridge Brewery. Don't know why. We're talking about Sierra Nevada, aren't we? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, right, let's do the pour. So 330, smaller glass, no problem. Again, pretty decent can wraps. Picked this one up from Left Field Beer when I got the last disco beer in. And again, just happened to see it. Oh dear. That's kind of properly glooping out. I don't know what the date on this one is. Oh, yeah, this one will be out of date because this was on the reduction. This was on the reduced section at Left Field. Never mind. It'll be fine. It'll be all right. Don't worry. You know what? Drinking out of date beers. Who cares? But there's a little bit of gloop in there. But hey ho, we shall manage. We'll work it out. Yes, well, there you go. What's the wang on about that? You guys are talking about Sierra Nevada in the comments. Good on you. All comments are good comments, even if it's about Sierra Nevada. You know my feelings on it. Maybe my palate is changing. Maybe I could enjoy a Sierra Nevada soon. I don't know. Lots of smoothness in that. Really hazy, kind of orangey colour. Much darker behind the camera here. I know this one is probably out of date because it was on the reduced bit from Left Field Beer. Anybody else had stuff from Left Field Beer? I've seen them on Instagram for a long, long time, and only finally got them in at the beginning of the month because I saw a disco beer that I didn't see anywhere else. And then Trembling Madness got them the week after. So they beat Trembling Madness. I pretty much, with disco beers now, just go for the first place I see it. Just because that's part of the game, and it's all fair. Right, yeah. So we'll do the photograph. Yeah, does anybody else have anything out of Left Field? I quite like the look of this. It looks, yeah. So yeah, it's called the Glorious Gorillas, and from what I saw on Left Field, a lot of beers from this brewery have a kind of crazy animal kind of theme going on in the name. Gonna have to pop the screen down a little bit. Don't know what's going on with this camera today. Can't seem to focus on the beer names properly. Every single beer. It's not a great shot on the beer, to be fair. No, that looks alright as it goes. So, nose is blocked up again, so I'm going to be able to try and sniff the beer in just a second. I do need to get that citra taste out of my mouth a little bit. Yeah, it's possible. Well, if I'm going to enjoy a Sierra Nevada beer, it's going to be the Narwhal, isn't it? And I will eventually pick that one up at some point. Give it time. Yeah, I will. But, you know, whether I enjoy the IPA or not is another matter. Yeah, no, it looks all right. It looks proper proper juicy. There was just a little bit of gloop going into the glass, and I'm not sure whether that's going to be a good thing or not. But let's have a look. Let's dive in. Nice head development. Again, slightly fluffy in the glass. Yeah, lots of a bit of tropical there, a bit of mango going on. Mango, pineapple, stone fruit. A little bit of almost savoury, maybe coriander, perhaps, or something like that. Maybe that's just my imagination. I don't know, but yeah, it smells proper. I don't know if you can smell thick and chunky, but it looks thick and chunky, and it smells like that as well. Again, bunch of oats going on, I should think. Anyway, so yeah, I can't remember what the Swedish for cheers is. Another thing in my collections was collecting ways to say cheers around the world, but yeah, cheers. Wow. Very, very similar to that previous one. Little bit more hot burn. Definitely some kind of creamy. I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't Citra in this too. I did wash the palate out. Yeah, much stronger, even though it's only 8%. But yeah, I think it probably is. I was going to say that, but you don't want to annoy the Scandinavians by getting it wrong. But it probably is Skål. So isn't that Danish? I don't know. Let's do Skål anyway. Great shout there, Simo. You guys been busy at Perry HQ? Yeah, we've been absolutely mad. We've had so many good weekends of really good weather, and it's fairly weather dependent because we're mostly outside, more so than Paul is, because Paul's what's actually inside tap bar. Was our bar's just a porta cabin in a car park essentially. Had a couple of poor days where we thought it'd be busier, even though it was sunny, but even in the rain the other day it was all right. Had a few events on, so done all right. 25 people turned up for a quiz on Sunday. I was quite impressed by that. I mean, I hated the quiz. It was terrible, but that's a sign of a good quiz, isn't it? Can't have everything, can't have easy questions. But yeah, it's been quite a good year so far, to be fair. Like, March was busy, April was sunny and busy, and this month has mostly been sunny, and so therefore mostly busy. So it worries me that that's going to mean we're going to have a complete washout of a summer. I hope not, of course, but yeah, we shall see, and I hope to get up to see Paul at some point when I can get a day off and other stars aligned. I mean, I don't work every day of the weekend. I'm off this Sunday, for example. But every time I've been off, it's like either do something else is called, or I've just gone out to the brewery because I've got people to chat to and stuff. But I do need to get over to see Paul again. In this weather, it looks amazing up there because they're outside as well. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not compulsory, but you are well overdue for a visit. Pop over, mate, especially now. Especially now we've got two really good. The very pale, we just produced the very pale in the big tank, 1,000-litre tank for the first time. Got the Dodo New England on. So there's some good stuff on the bar at the moment. Worth a trip if you can. Obviously, distance-wise, it's a bit difficult with like having to drive or public transport, but it's not actually that bad, to be fair, because it's basically into central London and out again, and it's fairly doable. What David Wilson will tell you is up the far end of the central line, but yeah. But yeah, you'll be welcome along. You know that. I'll get you a pint on the bar when you do. Pretty much get everybody a pint on the bar if they turn up at my place, to be fair. Not everyone, not literally everyone, but people I know. I haven't got that much money. But yeah. Paul, I'll buy you a pint if you get over there. And Ben. And yeah. Yeah, come and see us. Oh, that's hitting. That is hitting. I've suddenly I suddenly lost for words. I had to get back there next month. Yeah, next month will be good. Fair play. Yeah, no. Well, yeah, David Wilson, I'll tell you, to be fair, he's been very kind with his words about the brewery. That's. I think it's that one that's still hitting at 7. This one is noticeably 8% as well. There's not quite the same vodka edge to that as that one to this, but it is got that kind of that vodka edge. What I'm talking about is kind of that hop kind of burn. Sometimes goes a bit vodka for me. Oh yeah, give Dave a shout. Let us know when he's going next month. Yeah, superb. Yes, we will. As far as I know, I haven't seen the official notification yet, but as far as I know, we'll get invited to some beers there because we did last year and went down really, really well. Paul, will you get on that bag? It's kind of, well, I think it's worth it. It was worth it for us. We sent the most amount of kegs casks we've ever sent out, and a couple of kegs as well last year. So I think we'll get invited again. Whether we'll rebrew the collab with the festival organisers again, I'm not sure. The oak ale, I don't know, but I will 100% be going to Ealing because, yeah, again, last year so easy to get to for me, courtesy of good old line bikes. I can cycle over there. Cycling back is a bit interesting. I meant to get the train, but I kept missing it. But yeah, Paul, if you're going to Ealing as well, it's definitely. Oh, hang on a minute. Bugger. Forgot to plug the laptop in. Do bear with me a second. I don't want to disappear down the hole in the middle. Wouldn't be a disco stream without a little bit of technical errors. And that's a technical error for tonight. But yeah, I mean, it's only 2 months away, Ealing. But yeah, let's also let me know what days you're going. Last year, I bought a pass and was there. I think every day, a couple of times in the evening because we had to brew at some point during the week. But yeah, love the tent. Yeah, it's back in the same place. There was a little bit of uncertainty about whether it was going to be back in the same place, but it's back there, and I believe with the big top tent as well. Try to go Friday. I'm fairly certain I'll be there on Friday. Although now might be a bit difficult. Well, no, I should be able to sort my shifts out so I'm not working at the bar on a Friday. But yeah, superb as always. Yeah, I mean they have a trade day on the. Is it the Wednesday or the Tuesday? I think it's the Wednesday is the trade day. So it's worth popping in. Fairly easy to get to as well because the old Elizabeth line just dash into London. It's all good. So I'm fairly certain I'll be there on the Wednesday. Might be the Wednesday evening, depending on what we're doing brewing wise. But yeah, it's the other side of the borough for us. So it's the next biggest beer festival in London. I think, if not the biggest beer festival in London now, with GBBF moving up north. Right, let's have a look at this. Before I forget, because I'll swear down this Citra in this as well. See what it says. Oh, here we go. Best before us on the side of the can. Oh, we're running close again, guys. 30th of the 6th. So we're okay. I say it was on the discount at left field. But I was going to get it anyway because of the name, because I had the first one. This was the second one I got in. I've done it last because we've gone up the ABV. 4.8, 7.2, and 8. Yeah. So I didn't even look on the side of the can. So I generally thought this was American, first of all. But there is some English on it. It says a hazy, super juicy fruit bomb because more is more. The Pine Ridge Brewery, united in frustration over tasteless beer. I mean, there is some tasteless beer, but there's also some very tasty beer across Europe. A group of crazed animals have formed the Pine Ridge Brewery, offering you delicious beer without the fuss. There's a place called Falkenberg in Sweden. Don't know why I thought it was American. I think it's just Pine Ridge sounds a bit American to me. Starkle. Not sure what Starkle means, but yeah, it's a 330 ml can. That's why I thought it was American. I thought it was a 375, but can't see any hop information on it. Definitely oats. Yeah, no hop information, so we're going to have to go to the website. But I think the website's going to be in Swedish. So, okay, yeah, quickly before I run out of time. I'm all over the place a little bit now. I'm feeling it. That is definitely grapefruit more than mango. A little bit of stone fruit going on. A bit of peach maybe. But yeah, it's when grapefruit is okay because it's so soft and pillowy, but there's definitely grapefruit in that. But I'm managing. I'm okay. It's not that big. There is a big hop burn, but it's not that pithy grapefruit that kind of burns a little. It's a slight vodka spirity burn more than anything, alcohol burn. Oh, what am I sharing? I am all over the place. Did I line this one up? Can't see it. No, I didn't line this one up. Bear with me a sec. I was going to look at, yeah, because there's a confusion between Pine Ridge. The art I had to do was Pine Ridge, was the Pine Brewery, and this one is definitely called the Pine Ridge Brewery, which is why I done it. So let's have a look on the thing. Pine Ridge, the Pine Ridge Brewery. There we go. So Willkommen, which is similar to the German Willkommen, which means welcome. I presume that means asking over 20. 20 in Sweden. There you go. Delicious beer crafted with anger. The Swedish angry? Yeah, I suppose. Viking shit in it. Right. Oh shit, did I just click off the translate thing? Right, see at the top there, I don't know if you can see that, it says Pine Brewing Company, but all the cans are marked Pine Ridge, which is really confusing. And again, on Instagram, it says the Pine Brewery, but it's all Pine Ridge Brewery. There's a lot of animal themed stuff going on. Conveniently, part in English, part in Swedish. Sassy swordfish, offended octopus, no monkey business, and this one is the gorgeous gorillas, glorious gorillas. Yeah, so again, strong branding, strong stuff. Nice tanks. See, Pine Brewing Company, but it's definitely Pine Ridge. There we go. Outrageous oysters. Oyster stout. Nice. Ruthless rattlesnake. Victorious vulture. Raving raccoon. Savage squirrel. Delirious donkey. Jumping jacks. Edgy eagle. Pushy parrot. Glorious gorillas. That's this one. See, they've got New England double IPA, but on this one, so it's changed slightly. It just says double IPA. Well, it did taste a bit like the Weekend Project New England, to be fair, at the start. Rowdy roosters, tense toucans, and batty bunnies. Let's see what the Easter ale is. Oh, that's too far in, isn't it? Where's the description? Okay, right, let's stop that. That's mental. 7%. Right, yeah, so don't know where else you can get these from, but they do have quite a lot on left field. So worth checking out, I guess, if you get cans in. On this basis, apart from that confusion about the company name, these guys seem really good. Got a bit of a Piala thing going on, I guess. Fair play. Yeah. Yeah, going a bit of grapefruit in there still, which bothers me. But there's that vodka edge, spirity edge, with that kind of slight sort of pininess, with that kind of hop burn. But again, not undrinkable. There's not so much in some beers, that citra, that hoppy grapefruit edge just kind of takes the edge off it for me, and it's just undrinkable. This is not. None of the beers tonight have, apart from that hop lineup. They've all been great, really good. It's gonna, yeah, it's having gone up the ABV. I'm kind of like, I'm feeling lost for words now, which is fine. But I've had a really good night. I feel like I've had 3 really good beers. They've all been really in good condition, despite being late stage, best before. Good flavors, stuff to go back for each time. You want another mouthful of it just to check out what you're getting, and it's that kind of wave of different flavors. Hop notes have been a little testing, but they've kind of worked out. I'm shocked and pleased in equal measure at these beers that I've just bought purely on the name. It's slightly on the brewery name, I guess. I say I've heard of Drop Project. I've seen some of their stuff about. I like the can wraps. But they're all doing some jolly good stuff. Solid beers. But I've enjoyed the beer. The beer's been great. It's really, testing but nice. Again, it's not been the earthy, pithy grapefruit that I would expect maybe from a New England. Just solid beers, probably with the addition of oats. But there you go. I'll keep it down to 3. Try not to waffle on. I thank you guys for joining us and popping in the comments. Paul and Mr. Wilson, I hope to get you together for a beer and get it sorted out either at my place or at Ealing or both. Thanks to and we found Hopper a beer as well. Hopper Beer Reviews. Thanks for popping in. Simo, Mr. B, Shark, everybody else, as always. Thanks so much for popping in on a Monday night as well. Watching me drink on a Monday night. Mr. Wilson, hope your beers have gone okay as well. I've got through 3 beers in pretty short order, to be fair, and wanged on at length about it. Look out for the written reviews of these on Instagram. Hopefully I'll get them out tomorrow because I've got a lot of words to use. As always, thanks for popping in. If you're watching this after the event, please do put some comments below. I don't get enough comments underneath these streams, and we're on 800 and something. I don't normally say this, but it's not far off the mythically magical 1,000. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider. There's a button specifically for it down there. Click like, subscribe, do the comments afterwards. Thank you to everybody who's popped in. Yes, you two have a great one. See you tomorrow. Yeah, I might have a stream up tomorrow. I've got some beers lined up, something a bit lighter because I'm probably at work at Wednesday. So some supermarket beers tomorrow if it all works out. Paul, as always, thanks for popping in. I hope you have a great day off, and hope you have another busy week, because it's weird to wish people a busy week, but when you're in a brewing, I hope you do. You know what I mean? So yeah, cheers, and as I always say, everybody, cheers and enjoy the beers. I'm in disco of Just Disco Beer Reviews coming at you live from the Disco Arms. Until the next time, cheers and enjoy the beers. Oh, nice.